Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines. Things are heating up. We got Ripple, SAP, and Visa now. We also have possibly a new date for the ruling in the SEC versus Ripple case per John Deaton. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube for exclusive content. Right now, we are looking at $1.22 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is off by 1%, 30,000 plus for Bitcoin, 1,800 plus for Ethereum, and a Tether market cap is 83.3 billion plus, 47 cents for XRP. It is slipping, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, 48 cents was a crucial point to hold that line. So we'll see what happens from here. Well, I hope we don't get any downside, but if we do, I know what I'm going to do. I can tell you that. Jason Cousins from GlimpPay says the official Monetary Financial Institutions Forum, known as the OMFIF, predicts that the dollar will stay dominant in global reserves for another decade. Hostage to fortune? More certain is its finding that not one of the 75 central banks thinks inflation is going back to 2% in the next 12 to 24 months. Gold is security, Glint, it's key. And if you act right now, you will get 50% off of your vaulting and insurance fees for the next 12 months. Own physically allocated gold, get issued a MasterCard debit card, and become the alternative to the banking system with gold as your backing. How about that? I absolutely love it. Let's get started right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is Anders here sharing with us FedNow, which we know is supposed to go live next month sometime. Look toward the end of the month. This is FedNow article and David Schwartz comments on FedNow combined here. FedNow's open architecture will enable banks and other financial institutions to develop APIs to integrate to FedNow through blockchain applications. And then we see remittance companies and their customers would also welcome more speed with cross-border payments. And then we get into the David Schwartz comments, where he discovered that the biggest obstacle is often the very last hop, getting the funds to the payment recipient through the domestic payment system. Then you come down here, that's all David Schwartz, but lacking the connectivity to consumers, CBDCs won't solve the last mile problem that has made modernizing international payments so difficult, said David Schwartz. Fortunately, domestic systems are modernizing SEPA. Singapore, which we have a relationship with, Ripple just got a license at the Monetary Authority of Singapore Central Bank, ladies and gentlemen. Keep that in your hat. And then U.S. implementing FedNow, which at that time he's making these comments was a few years away and is now next month. He says, so there's definitely an opportunity here to bridge domestic real-time payment systems such as FedNow, the clearinghouse for USD, with powerful benefits from the small, medium enterprises and ultimately consumers around the world. Very exciting. And then that leads us to this. Shout out to Lewis Jackson here, who reminds us of what's going on over in the UK with the groundbreaking bill, including digital asset or digital settlement assets onto royal assent, which means it's about to be signed into law by the king, if I understand the UK government flow of how it works. Take a listen to Lewis here.
Right, I've got some crypto regulation news for you. I've just got off the phone with the UK Parliament, who handles the bills. Now, there's a Financial Services and Markets Bill that has just made it to royal assent. That means it's going to be signed off to go into effect. It talks about the creation and definition of digital settlement assets. Now, tell me, do you know a digital settlement asset? The same asset that works with a company that works with the Digital Pound Foundation? That's interesting. Ripple, right? Ripple and XRP could most definitely be affected by this bill coming into place. We don't actually know the exact date that the law goes into effect, but we do know tomorrow it will be signed by the king. Right.
How about that? So this is really, really getting exciting. Give Lewis Jackson a follow if you haven't done it. Just in, Visa and SAP to digitize 50 $50 trillion worth of business-to-business payment flows across Asia and Pacific. Now, let me tell you something. In case anybody's confused here, $50 trillion is a lot of money, ladies and gentlemen. Well, what's exciting about this to me that really grabbed me this morning here is we remember that Ripple and SAP collaborate in international settlements using blockchain. And that was all the way back in 2018. And then this was just a couple days ago here. Reminder from Matthew Linai of exactly the same thing. SAP clients testing Circle's USDC, right? And then we see SAP and Ripple collaborating in cross-border payments all the way back to 2016 with that one. Ripple and SAP integration here. Reminder from Bank XRP. There it all is right there, ladies and gentlemen. This is exciting right here. I have to tell you, hugely exciting to see all of this unfolding here. When is that decision going to come? Well, John Deaton predicts a new end to the date for the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. And here we see inside the article here, and shout out to John Deaton and Crypto Law for that great stream they did yesterday. If you haven't had a chance to watch the whole thing, go watch it. As the cryptocurrency community anticipates a summary judgment decision, we hear from John Deaton has made fresh speculation regarding the ruling when it might come. He says here, Deaton speculates that Judge Annalisa Torres might issue the ruling of her decision on summary judgment within a few months of her ruling of the Daubert motion. He says here that it could go out to September 6th even. And as evidence in Judge Torres' previous cases, there was a scenario where she released her summary judgment decision on the same day as the Daubert ruling. Furthermore, Deaton said there were also times after Judge Torres ruled on the Daubert motions, it took about 2 to 6 months before she released the summary judgment. Using the 6-month time frame and Judge Torres ruling on Daubert motions in the Ripple lawsuit on March 6th, Deaton speculated that the summary judgment might come as late as September 6th. There was a case that she decided where the summary judgment decision came 6 months after the Daubert decision. So 6 months from her Daubert decision, if it were on March 6th, would be September 6th, according to John Deaton. Well, I tell you, none of us want to have to wait that far. But if I do, I can do it standing on my head. Because I know that we're further along than any other digital asset in this space when it comes to getting some legal clarity. And that's exactly what we're here to get, ladies and gentlemen. Deaton also explained here where the SEC versus Ripple case is heading after summary judgment, and this is something we have speculated a lot right here. He says, per John Deaton, the possibility of the case going up to the Supreme Court is one of the reasons why Judge Torres has yet to rule. He explained that Judge Torres is taking her time to review the relevant information because she knows top U.S. justices and the Second Circuit will review and decipher her ruling from the first day it was released. How about that? I have often said and said for a long time, without a lot of support and favor, I believe that this case has to go all the way to the Supreme Court. We still don't know what it will do, but I remember clearly when the summary judgment was written by Ripple, the legal analysts in this space said it was written for a Supreme Court argument. I've never forgotten it, and I've never forgotten that Stuart Alderati said, goodbye Howey test, hello Ripple test. And I believe all of those things are indicators amongst many, many others that let us understand that we could be going the distance, ladies and gentlemen. And if we're really looking at solving the problem, not just for Ripple and XRP, but providing some clarity for this entire space, innovation, and technology as a whole, someone's got to do it. And who else has the purse and the money and the capital to get it done outside of Ripple? Who could get it done? Who has operated with the kind of transparency that Ripple has to get this done? I don't know of another entity in this space that is really cut out to take the fight. And as hard and as long as this fight has been, and it has been long and it has been hard for us to endure, look where we are right now. Are we happy if it goes to the Supreme Court? I'm sure not. There's a lot of people that are more worried about the price action. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm here to see this be done right. And if going the distance to the Supreme Court is what it takes to get it done, then I'm down for it. Because the reality is I want something so clear that it cannot be rebuked in any way. And Ripple, the company, and XRP, the digital asset, can move forward. And the things that we talk about going forward after that moment are all about adoption and what we think will win and the new exciting ideas and innovation that's being launched with the integration of XRP and the XRP ledger. That's what I'm excited about, to make our way to that moment again. Remember the early days for any of us that have been in this space for any amount of time, before we started talking about court cases and lawsuits and the SEC? Remember how fun it was to talk about what we thought the next big thing to come was? We're about to get back to that. Now, whether that road is another year or two out, I don't care at this point. What has to happen is going to happen. And I'm down for it. And when it does, I cannot wait to see what XRP and the XRP ledger and Ripple, the company, do on the other side, along with the rest of this innovative space. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. I'll catch all of you on the next one.